Ladies and gentlemen, we want you to stand and we want you to make some noise.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go racing here at Knoxville.
Only the best go three abreast.
It is show time at Williams Grove Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here at Eldora Speedway, it's showtime!
You've got a for a rep. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
It's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
Set to do battle for 30 laps. The green flag is waving.
Hello again. It is Wing Nation here on the Motor Racing Network, talking sprint car racing, our favorite time of the year. And we are so glad that you have joined us. Erin, Evernham, and Steve Post back in our comfy little studios here in Concord, North Carolina. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Fantastic. Doing really, really good. All is well. We're back. We had sprint car races on TV this weekend with ASCS.
I know. I'm excited. Big week we have coming up, too.
Oh, man, we do have a big week coming up. So it is really, really cool. Fun stuff, that is for sure. Did you have a good off-season, non-racing season,
Yeah, I did. The
holiday season?
The holidays go by so fast.
Yeah.
It's like such a build-up and so chaotic to get all your presents and parties. And then it's like, okay, now it's January. And then January takes forever. January is like the longest month. It feels like we were on January 56th by the time we got to February.
Yeah.
So no, all is well. It was good. It was a nice little break.
Good.
What about you?
Really good. Holidays were great. Just spent time with the girls.
Yeah.
Just fantastic. Holidays were great. It was weird. January started off like January 2nd, I'm driving to Allentown, and it just exploded literally on the drive. I had people calling me, texting, hey, call. Hey, can you do this? Can you do that?
Yeah.
And it's been wide open since. And that's fine. I love it. By the end of the holidays, by January 1st, by January 2nd, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
And it's been wide open. It's been really, really busy. So great stuff. That's for sure. We are glad you joined us here. Do us a favor, folks. Before we kick off, Erin and I spent a little time with some of our friends in Pennsylvania. And still, as much as we feel like we've beat this drum, we really feel like we have. We feel like we're wearing this drum out. And those of you that are here, we apologize because you've heard us say this a million times before. Get on your social media and say Wing Nation is on YouTube. I mean, we're up at a trade show and it's like, man, I miss Wing Nation. We're still around. Please do us a favor. The more you do us that favor, the less I'll have to ask you to keep doing that favor. Oh my gosh, it's good. It's great. People love Wing Nation, but oh my gosh, it's just like so. Yeah, spread the gospel. We're here on Wing Nation. Like it, share it. If we say something you like, it's fine. If we say something we don't like, say something stupid, whatever it is, just like it, share it, and do it. So,
and you never say anything stupid.
No, I never say anything stupid. Hey, look, what are we? We're 3 minutes into the show, and thus far, I'm flawless this year.
Yeah, already on a rant, though. I like it.
Rant,
took you all of 2 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get started with our hot topics. And well, from this weekend's racing at Volusia, it was Justin Peck was the hot topic.
Yeah, what a duo. Great way to start the year.
Man, oh man, he was rolling. Complete sweep of the weekend. Thursday and Friday led every lap. Saturday, he had to start 8th, so he had to work on it, but by the midpoint of the feature, he was gone.
Yep.
I think he won $18,000 over the course of the weekend. Now, I'm curious as to how this translates to 410 racing.
Yep.
We'll see what happens. He was awful good at World Finals in that Rudine car.
Yep.
2 third-place finishes and 11th place finish. Going to be fun to see what Justin Peck does.
I was very impressed.
Yeah, very strong, very strong. Speaking of very strong, this has been a story since the spring of last year, and I think we can put this story to bed now. ASCS is back.
Yep.
It is back at full strength, okay? Over the course of the last month or so, full-timers have been announced, and it is stout, very stout. Sam Haferteep Jr., Seth Bergman, Blake Hahn, Matt Covington, Jason Martin, Zach Blurton, among others. Erin, they've got everybody here. It's amazing.
Yeah, obviously a lot of past championships between those drivers, but that's their solid foundation, and they're, like you said, they're back.
The last 9 champions.
Yep.
Or the last 9 years of champions are all back. Sam Haferteep was a 5-time champion, 2016 to 2020. Blake Hahn, a 2-time champion, 2021 and 22. Jason Martin was the 23 champion. Seth Bergman was the 24 champion, and they're all back with that. And what's happened here, and this goes back to a visit I had at I-70 with Tommy Hahn. He said the World Racing Group is going to make it difficult. There's a bunch of these drivers. We've talked to Sam about this. We've talked to Blake about this. There's a bunch of these drivers that are like, I want to go 410 racing. I want to go 410 racing. I want to go 410 racing. 410 racing is tough.
Yeah.
And Tommy Hahn said they're going to make us have to make a tough decision. And
that's a wonderful thing.
It's a wonderful thing to have options and a wonderful thing to have tough decisions because those guys are running for great purses, great point fund, and everything with that 360 program. So they are back. ASCS is back. Next race, April 12th, Salina Highbanks in Oklahoma. And you know who else is back, Erin?
I do know who's back.
Christopher Bell. How about that?
I love it. I love to see it.
Mm-hmm. Coach Gibbs loosened the reins on C. Bell. And he's already been back and wheeling and dealing.
Yep.
Went to the Tulsa shootout.
Mm-hmm.
He won the non-winged outlaw driller at the shootout. And he also ran really well at the Chili.
Yeah, he did.
But he's not done. What's he doing?
Just starting.
What's he doing this weekend?
He's going to Volusia.
Mm-hmm. With who?
Just some car out of Pennsylvania that's had a little bit of success with Pittman, Lance DeWeese, Donnie Kreitz. 69K.
69K. He's been good at Volusia.
Yeah.
He's had podiums with Tony Stewart Racing and with Swindell Speed Labs.
Mm-hmm.
Donnie Kreitz, the last time at Volusia, 1988.
I'm excited for this duo.
I am
this combination.
They're going to run Vegas with the high limit opener in a couple of weeks. But that 69K on a big old half mile, just get out there and let her eat.
When you think about what Pittman was able to do in just a few races last year and being mostly retired.
Yeah.
Now you put Christopher Bell in that car, and hopefully Christopher's able to bring some money, get them to travel to these places. I think they're going to be stout.
I think they're going to be really stout.
Yeah.
That is, we talk about this, and I think there are Brownie's another one that's they're half mile cars.
Yeah.
They get on the bull rings. That's not their forte. That's 69K. Brian Brown. That's 69K. They're half mile cars.
Yeah, but you put Christopher Bell in that 69K, and they might be bull ring cars too.
Well, that's true about that. That's a good point. That's for sure. Christopher Bell, good to have him back. That is for sure. So that is going to do it. Also, who is back is our reigning champ of the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars. That is David Gravel, and we will talk to David Gravel here in just a moment.
3, 2, 1, start your engine.
The NASCAR channel is streaming now, exclusively on Tubi.
Tell them we got it.
Go deeper into NASCAR with 24/7 news, documentaries, and explore the vault of timeless NASCAR stories and unforgettable races. From crushing defeats to the thrill of victory.
Go, baby!
The NASCAR channel, always on, always free. Only on Tubi.
Welcome back. It is Wing Nation here on the Motor Racing Network, and all hail the champ. Let's go right to the Zoom call. David Gravel joins us. Hello, David. How are you?
I'm doing great, guys. How are you?
Doing well. You were our last driver guest on the program. We had talked to you a few hours after you had claimed the championship. What's the championship settling in been like for you? Getting your arms around the fact that that you are the champ.
Yeah, I've got that question asked a lot to me, and to me, it's just more motivating. It's more motivating to be a multi-time champion, to stay on that top step of the pedestal, and we just want to continue to win races and win championships, and hopefully it's my time for a reign here with the World of Outlaw Tour. But, you win one championship, all right, you check that off the list, and that's all great. Then you look at what Brad and Donnie and obviously what Steve's done, which we'll never get there ever. But, I would love to be a multi-time, World of Outlaws champion, and that's what we're focused on doing. We have a lot of the same pieces to the puzzle here for this year, and we're excited for our season. And yeah, it's just it hasn't settled in yet just because I didn't get that ring yet. I'm getting that ring ceremony at Volusia, so I think that will be cool. And then obviously Johnny announcing it every night that you're the defending champion is another cool thing as well.
Yeah, those are awesome things to look forward to. David, what did your off season look like? I saw you did a lot of the David Gravel show. I loved watching the Driven to Dirt. I thought that was really neat, about a little bit more about your background, your family, your history. But I know you like to take some time, play with your cars, a little family time. What did you do? Anything exciting?
Yeah, we went to the Bahamas right after the season for a few days. We host Thanksgiving, so we had a great Thanksgiving, and then Christmas, we went up to Connecticut and spent some time with the family in Connecticut. Celebrated New Year's back in Florida. We just went to Monster Jam this past weekend in Miami at the Marlins Stadium. That was awesome. Levi loved it, and Dad loved it too. But other than that, just laying low. We moved Levi into his big boy room with a big boy bed. So I finally am getting my office back, so I'll be able to have a better room for a podcast area and have some trophies because we've had no racing stuff in the house because there's nowhere to put it. So we're gonna get some more racing stuff back in our office and just a lot of things like that. We painted some furniture. The car stuff, my Mustang I've toyed with this off season and did some mods to that and trying to go for personal best, but nothing crazy, just normal life. Jill goes to work, and then I'm here being dad, and it flies by. Like for it to be Volusia February and all that, like I don't even know how these guys feel that race the West Coast midget stuff, race Chili Bowl, race Australia or New Zealand. Like it literally has to feel like there's zero off season, in my opinion.
Yeah. David, I want to go back to something and it's off topic. It's months ago. But it's been a fascinating thing for me in my personal life. You said you hosted Thanksgiving. What is the meal of choice when Jillian and David Gravel host Thanksgiving?
Well, I have the video and if you watch it, I could tell you what all is there, but I cook a turkey and then
That's
Jill's
good.
mom cooks a turkey. So we got two turkeys.
Good.
Then we loved honey baked ham. We get the biggest bone-in ham from Honey Baked Ham. If you've never had their ham, they're really, really good. It's hard to beat that. We don't try to beat them because we're not going to beat them. But I'm telling you, my turkey, I'll put it up against anybody's. I'm that confident in my turkey. And if you've never cooked a turkey spatchcocked, look it up. It's a terrible name, but it's the way to do it. You got to cut the spine out of the turkey, and then you got to break the breastbone, and it lays flat. And you cook the whole turkey in 2 hours. Doesn't matter really the size, in 2 hours or 2.5 hours. You get to the internal temp you need, and it's juicy, and it's super high heat. I think we go like 400 degrees, so crispy skin. It's juicy, really, really good. But we got like 25 sides. I mean, we got sweet potato casserole, green bean casserole, broccoli casserole, mashed potatoes, corn, stuffing, homemade gravy. It keeps going on and on. You need 3 plates.
David, my hope in humanity has been totally restored by you because around Thanksgiving, there's this whole narrative about, no, nobody does turkey anymore. Everyone, I heard there's a lot of people that don't do turkey anymore, and I'm like the old traditional.
Because you didn't know how to.
Well, now I don't know how to do whatever.
Whatever.
Spatula. Yeah, I don't know how to do it on the spatula, but I'll learn. But my whole confidence in humanity is now back because David Gravel does turkey. That's our World of Outlaws champion does turkey at Thanksgiving. No, during Thanksgiving, there was this whole conversation. I know we're way off the reservation here, but during Thanksgiving, there's this whole conversation about turkey at Thanksgiving is just so, nah. Oh, we do seafood. Oh, we do pasta. We do this. We do that. We order out. We go do Chinese. We do this and that. And I'm like, whatever happened to the turkey dinner? I know what happened to it. It's all at David Gravel's house, and that is a great thing. All right.
There's nothing better. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
There's nothing better than turkey, gravy, stuffing, mashed potatoes, and corn, and then I just mix it all up and I eat it all together. I think it's a great combination.
Yeah.
Preach.
And the leftovers when you mash them all together. However, I just want to note that it took Steve all of 15 minutes into the 2025 Wing Nation season to talk food. 15 minutes. I'm impressed.
Yes, but
I'm a foodie, so I'm all for it.
I knew that, and now he's talking about this spatula method or whatever it is. I got to go figure it out. I've already learned stuff. My year is complete right now.
We're done. That's it.
I know it's February, and I've already got my plans for Thanksgiving. I mean, you want to talk about the win for sure. Oh my gosh, that is awesome.
It's called spatchcocking. It's a terrible word and name, but that's the name of it. And it's legit, and it's not a funny name. That's what it's called.
Yeah, I got nervous to try to say it. That's why I called it spatula.
You're not just trying to sneak words on Wing Nation, are you? Here, no, that's it.
This is real stuff. Real stuff.
All right. So Levi went to Monster Jam. How was that? That had to be fun.
Yeah, he loved it. He stayed intrigued for like 2.5, 3 hours. It was about a 4 hour show. But I felt like it was really good. He loves Gravedigger and Zombie, and El Toro Loco. Those are kind of his favorite. And El Toro Loco got a flat during freestyle, and he still talks about it every day. Loco, flat tire, he broke a tire, just stuff they remember. But it was good. We drove down there, and Erin that used to work at Simpson, he works for Monster Jam now. He hooked me up with some tickets, so thank you, Erin, for that. And yeah, we went down there, had a good meal after Monster Jam along the river in Miami, and had a good day. And went to the casino, the Hard Rock Casino. I had a free night there, so went to the casino after that and won a couple bucks, so helped me pay for the trip.
That's awesome. I love that Monster Jam. It's underratedly entertaining, I have to say. Like even the monster trucks they bring to Charlotte Motor Speedway, the dirt track. That's like Kate's favorite thing. Like you can mention going to the Indy 500, going to Knoxville National, and she's like, "What about the monster trucks?" I think it's just so neat. Glad you went to Miami and got to spend some time down there. How did you celebrate the anniversary? I saw you had the big fifth anniversary recently.
Yep. So fifth wedding anniversary was 131. So it was on Friday this past week, and we go to this place called Flagler Steakhouse on Palm Beach Island. It's right across the street from the Breakers Hotel, which is one of like the most prestigious hotels in the country. And we go there, and I had a great Wagyu filet that we split and got some sides. And they have this like French chocolate cake that's got like this fudge in it that Jill loves that she'll pick on. We'll get it for dessert, eat half of it there, and then she makes that thing last like a week. She'll have like a spoonful every day for a week because she loves it so much. So, yeah, it was a great meal. It was like probably one of the best fillets I've ever had. And yeah, that's our spot. Either birthdays or anniversaries, we go there once or twice a year.
That is so awesome. That is just so awesome. And man, the food talk here, man. Gregor, we need to get Gravel on every week here to talk about food.
I was
I didn't
thinking
eat
the same
lunch
thing.
yet. I'm starving.
Next time we do some barbecuing, we'll get David on, on the Zoom and do it.
We got to do it.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Awesome stuff. Talk a little sprint car racing because this is Wing Nation after all. You say things pretty much intact, or pretty much your crew back, the car, everything like that. Is everything looking pretty good for this year, David?
Yeah, everything's pretty much the same. Our car chief, Evernham Riley, he moved back to Pennsylvania. He's working for Lucas Wolf, at their local schedule that they're doing. We replaced him with Pete Stevens. Pete Stevens is a guy Erin might know, but he worked on a lot of cars in his day, but worked with Big Game quite a bit with Craig Delansky and Sammy back then. He hasn't been in the game working full time on sprint cars for a while, but we call him Big Race Pete. He always showed up to all the fun ones, Volusia, Knoxville, Kings Royal, Charlotte, and hang out with us and help out and just have a good time. And we finally convinced him to come on the road. So he might give us 2 or 3 years and then he'll officially retire. But excited for him, a guy that's familiar with all of us. And we got Zach and Cody still. And we got our Morrison engines and our Maxim chassis and our Berryman suspension and Titan wings. And, everything's pretty much the same. We're just fine tuning and massaging and trying to get a little lighter and yeah, see what we can do this year.
So tomorrow night kick off at Volusia. You mentioned that you take the off season, you take a break, you enjoy your family. I know you're a veteran, you're a professional, you're the reigning champ, but are there like a little bit of, I don't know, not nerves, but a little bit of a little anxious to get back in the car? It's been a while. You don't test, you don't get a lot of practice. You kind of just you get your three laps of hot lap, and there you go.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely nerve wracking. In 3 laps, I got to figure it out and then go to qualify. And there's going to be, looks like 50 cars here at Volusia for the 410s. And, you're off a little bit. I mean, you could be starting sixth or eighth in a heat race before you even know it. And then that's going to be a pretty miserable night. So, yeah, it's definitely nerve wracking. I feel like we've been to Volusia quite a bit, that we're all pretty familiar with it. And, we're starting the season off with the car we finished at Charlotte with. So it's not like we're shaking down a new car. We got a fresh motor that we really, really like. So it's a lot on me, honestly, on just getting acclimated fast. And, we want to win every night. it's all good to make all this money throughout the year, but then you still got to budget yourself and not working for 3 months and paying bills, paying taxes and stuff. So like I'm very motivated to go there and try to make a living this week. And then we got 3 weeks off after this. So I think you see guys running with their hair on fire always to start the year because everybody's a little money hungry. Their bank accounts are a little low right now. And, you see that in drivers, and then you feel like people settle down a little bit as the season goes on. And then the month of money, it kind of runs right back up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Monster Jam and Wagyu steaks, you got to go out there.
Flagler Steakhouse.
Flagler
Yeah.
Steakhouse, you got to earn that stuff. The good news is it's Volusia, so it's not like it's a high-speed trek you're going out there the first night for.
Yeah, there you go.
It's not the fastest track that we ever race at, so no big deal.
David, it does have to be nice, though, for you being Florida-based to have this first sequence of races this week and then coming up with their Bike Week Jamboree. It's got to be nice to have, for lack of a better term, and I know you're not sleeping in your own bed, but at least have some close-to-home games.
Yeah, I love the start of the season. It can't be any better, really. The weather's beautiful. I think it's going to be some days in the low 80s. The coldest day, I think, is in the mid 70s this week for Volusia, which is amazing. The weather just started turning here where it's getting warm again. So we're in the 80s every day here. So it's great to leave the night before the morning of a race and to go to the racetrack. And when the races are over Saturday, we'll just stay overnight and I'll be home by, 1 o'clock on Sunday. So, it's great. It's a good feeling. It's relaxing. Having my family here with me. A lot of people we know from the Northeast want to get out of the cold and come down. So lots of people coming and hanging out, and a lot of other family members that are finally retired that are going to come to the races more. So yeah, looking forward to it. It's definitely great. Charlotte's not terribly far away, but like it's nice to be this close and get home for sure.
David, you mentioned earlier that winning the championship has you even more motivated. When you look at this season, obviously the goal is to win another championship, but do you set other goals as far as how many wins, specific races that you guys want to target, or is it just like you set that excellence and you want to hold it all year long?
Yeah, I always want to try to win 10 races. Getting double-digit World of Outlaw wins is something that's really, really hard to do. It's a good feeling because not a lot of people have done it, or not a lot of people have done it multiple times. So that's always kind of a benchmark for me, is getting the double-digit wins. Crown Jewel events, obviously you want to win them all every year, but Knoxville Nationals is one that I feel like, not that we're owed it at all, and nothing is owed to you in this sport, but I feel like we ran second twice in a row. Last year we were off a little bit. But a Knoxville Nationals is what Todd wants the most. And the list of Knoxville Nationals champions are very small, but it's even smaller to be a multi-time Knoxville Nationals champion. So, if I could accomplish Knoxville and another World of Outlaw championship and get 10 plus wins, that is just amazing and puts me in extremely elite company. So yeah, we'll see. How the season goes. It could always change, and we're just going to keep fighting hard, and we believe in what we're doing right now, and our confidence is high. So we're just going to put our heads down. We're going to fight every race and see where we end up.
How do you Volusia with these first 6 races? I think it is at Volusia. It's such a unique track. Is it something that if you're a little off, can you get off the reservation chasing something? How much does Volusia apply to the rest of the season, I guess is my question.
Yeah, Volusia has changed over the course of the years. I don't know how much you guys pay attention or notice, but like last year, the dirt is different. They put that one year they put different dirt on it, and the track was extremely rough and it was terrible, and they couldn't get a hold of it. So they scraped all that dirt off, and then they mixed in some other stuff. And this stuff is very sandy. It looks like sand in my opinion. If you watch the highlight videos from the ASCS or the late model guys, but it's different now. It's not the same. Last year and this year look the same, but in previous years, it's been different. And the track is greasy a lot, and then it goes from grease to slick. So a lot of times you see the inside road does not get going on the starts because it's actually greasy down there. So that's something that makes it difficult. for me, track position is so key. You seeing people coming from way deep in the field is going to be hard to do with this stout field of cars. You maybe saw that ASCS guys, but there was like 6 or 8 badasses, and then there's some decent guys. But here you're going to have 30 really good cars there, and it's going to be tough. So you got to qualify good, but it always changes, and that's why dirt racing is so hard to be consistently good. If you could put a stretch together like, Donnie has and these other guys, it's pretty amazing because even though if everything stays the same, these tracks aren't the same every time you go to them, and Mother Nature's not the same, and tires aren't the same. It's so hard to stay on top of it and stay at the top level. So, we're up for the challenge, but yeah, it just, you never know, Steve. That's what makes this deal not boring. I could tell you that.
David, the sprint car season kicking off in Florida has always been a big thing. You mentioned the big car counts you expect at Volusia. East Bay being closed, has that changed the dynamic of the kickoff of the season?
Yeah, Florida is such a weird state. I feel like they have such a unique opportunity to have so many great things go on and have to take advantage of it in the winter months. And, East Bay going away, it was supposed to be going away for 5 years, right? And, it finally has. And I think that hurt the track, right? Because whoever owned it wasn't going to put money in the place to make it better or maintain it to have these last 5 years. He probably thought 5 years ago it was going to be gone. So, that's always a unique thing. The All-Stars going away, and not going to Ocala like they used to. It seems like whenever they went to Screven, it always rained out at Screven. The Golden Isles seems like they can never race either. The weather's rough. Alltech seems like they're doing a pretty good job with their late model stuff. I thought the racing was pretty good there. I think it's a little too dangerous for us in sprint cars and have to up the safety there. But yeah, now it's just Volusia, and the 360 guys actually get to race a little bit down here. They get to race at Hendry County. And I don't know if they go to Alltech or Ocala, but I know they get to race a couple different places while they're down here. But yeah, it's just Volusia, which I can't complain with. I would love to one day have a race at Alltech, in my opinion. Ocala is okay. It's different. It's unique. But obviously, Volusia is the premier facility in Florida, it being close to Daytona and everything. They're, piggybacking off of Speed Weeks and Bike Week. So I think that all works out really, really well. And I'm all for racing in Florida.
Okay, final question for you. You said you're going to get done. You're going to grab that big gator this week and head on home. Get home midday on Sunday. Are you a Super Bowl guy? Are you a big game guy? What's the game plan for
what's
Super
the menu?
Bowl? Well, that's what I'm getting to, Erin. Erin, I'm trying to be subtle here. Erin, this is the subtlety of it.
Yeah,
I'm asking.
You're always so subtle.
I know exactly. So, do you enjoy the big game Sunday night?
Yeah, for sure. I beat Danny Dietrich's butt in his fantasy football league this year, and I took $1,500 from him this year. So that was good.
He hasn't got on Twitter and bragged about that, has he?
No, he just brags how cheap a 305 or 360 he has, and everybody else has these shiny new motors, and he's got a cheap one.
We couldn't afford a nice one after he paid you.
Here's the violin for him. Yeah, I'm a big football guy, so I'm a Broncos fan. I don't want the Chiefs to win again, personally. So I'm cheering for the Eagles. I like Jalen Hurts' story. His college team or college school, gave up on him, and then he had to go to another college, go to Oklahoma and prove himself, and he got drafted, and now he's a franchise quarterback. So pretty cool. Motivated guy, and I'm going for the Eagles. We're having people over after Volusia, and we're gonna do wings, nachos, kind of the tailgating type of stuff. Maybe some chicken of some sort.
Spatulid.
Yeah, We'll go with that. You guys look it up after, and then you let me know what you think.
We'll do that.
I was wondering if you could do the chicken the same way, right? It's still the same type of bird.
My final question, David. Yeah. Look around there. Is there any houses near you that are available for purchase? Because I know a guy that might move in with all this food there. It's like
yeah. Come by. I'll cook.
Yeah, there we go. Awesome. David, appreciate the time. We wish you well in the title defense and to become that multi-time World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car champion. Thanks again for the time. Safe travels up to Volusia, and we'll be following along, but thanks again for joining us.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
The 2024 World of Outlaw champion, David Gravel, joining us here on Wing Nation. Stay with us. More in just a moment.
3, 2, 1, start your engine!
The NASCAR channel is streaming now, exclusively on Tubi. Go deeper into NASCAR with 24/7 news, documentaries, and explore the vault of timeless NASCAR stories and unforgettable races. From crushing defeats to the thrill of victory.
Go, baby!
The NASCAR channel, always on, always free. Only on Tubi.
Welcome back. It is Wing Nation, and boy, I'll tell you what, I absolutely love talking with David Gravel. We have so much fun with our food stuff, and we know he's a foodie. Boy, he was doing those videos at one time where he was food. Oh my god.
Well, and now we have a new way to cook turkey.
Yeah, and I have no idea to pronounce it.
Yeah, I don't want to try it.
And I don't want to try either because Craig will be bleeping us out here or something. So
it could get a little awkward.
Yeah, it could get very awkward. That's for sure. What is never awkward is the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum. And we traditionally do the birthday calendar, but we're going to switch that up here today because during the course of the offseason, they announced their Hall of Fame class. Craig Delansky, Damian Gardner, Todd Schaefer. That's a pretty good driver's class.
Oh, yeah.
I actually hung out, which is weird because we went to PRI and I went up to Tony Stewart's 25th anniversary celebration and hung out and chatted with Damian Gardner.
Yeah.
And 3 days later, he's being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Really cool. The crowd pleaser, of course. Owner, mechanic, builder, Davy Brown Jr. will join his dad there.
Mm-hmm.
Davy is no longer with us. Davy Jr. is no longer with us. And Don Ott, not a shocker there.
Nope. Well deserving.
Yeah. Promoter official, Carlton Reimers, who's just been everything World of Outlaws since his father-in-law, Ted Johnson, ran it. Steve Sinclair, I love that.
Yeah.
Steve Sinclair. And then pre-1970, Kenny Gritz. Ceremony is coming up on May 31st. You can find out more at sprintcarhof.com. That's sprintcarhof.com. You can also get a membership there, only $25, sprintcarhof.com. Erin, I do want to jump off here a little bit with the here and now in the sprint car world. A couple of weeks ago, you and I had a really, really neat time. Lenny Salmons, of course, area auto racing news, indoor auto racing. He also does the Motorsports Expo and Trade Show up in the Philadelphia area, up in Oaks, Pennsylvania. We were up there for a weekend, and it's one of those things where I hadn't been to the show in years and years and years, and I got done with the weekend, and I'm like, why don't I come to more things like that? It was a wonderful
We
time.
said the same thing because the last time we had been was 2018, I think. So it had been 6 or 7 years for us. But it was great. It was a great weekend. We celebrated, raised 50 years in racing, had a bunch of cars. Bill Elliott was there. We had a lot of fun with Bill. We don't get to see him too often anymore. But it was the fans. I did that autograph session with Ray and Bill, and I thought, oh geez, I'm just gonna be sitting there. They're all here for Ray and Bill, and there were so many sprint car fans and so many race fans. It was just a really fun weekend. We had fun on stage with our time up, your interviews. So yeah, it was great to be back there.
We did an interview. You and I did an interview to talk about your career in motorsports and referencing the 20th anniversary of your World of Outlaw win. And we got to talk a little Wing Nation stuff. One of the other things that I was able to participate in, which was really sweet, was a tribute of the life of Lynn Paxton.
Yeah.
Just so neat. We had Alan Kreitzer there. There's a guy that wrote a Lynn Paxton book.
Yep.
Van May was there.
Yep.
Van May, and then Dave Hare, who I just love. Dave Hare. He's the track announcer at BAPS, and he does all the roundtables at the Eastern Motorsports Museum of Racing.
Yeah.
And he does all of the roundtables. And he was not supposed to be there with our group. And Alan said, "Hey, Dave is here." I said, "Oh, come on. I need all the help I can get." We had a wonderful time tributing Lynn Paxton.
Yeah.
Really cool. And then you actually did a forum for women in motorsports as well, correct?
Yeah, that was really neat. Mallory Kutz put it together, and she did an amazing job, and it was neat. I got to see Mayor Stelfox, who I raced sprint cars with URC a long time ago, and met some other women in different forms of motorsports. And then they had a bunch of girls that are racing quarter midgets who got up and spoke so well. And it was neat to see the generations of racing, some people older than me, a lot younger than me. But it was really well done.
Really well done. I do their indoor auto racing events. I missed Atlantic City this past weekend because of the stadium, Bowman Gray Stadium. But I work with Lenny and Davey and Danny and the whole crew up there, and I'm doing indoor. We're doing dirt track racing in Trenton. We're doing 600 micros coming up in a couple of weeks. So I love those people to death. And this trade show was just awesome. And I am a paper in the mail subscriber to Area Auto Racing News and read every issue cover to cover. It's my bedtime reading, and I literally finished up the pre-motorsports one, and this morning took the next one up to the bedside. So I'll start on that one to find out what we missed at the show when we were even there. But it is so good. So just absolutely huge respect for Lenny Salmon's area. Remember back in the day when it used to be we'd have to wait till Wednesday or Thursday to get the racing trade papers, whether it was Speed Sport. I wrote for Gator Racing News,
Speedway Scene.
There's one left.
Yeah.
Area Racing News.
Yeah.
And they keep
do a really good job.
It's a great job. So, folks, this is a if you're out there and you miss the old days of racing trade papers, look it up and get it subscribed.
Yeah.
You'll love it. What I find amazing about Area Auto Racing News is we feel like at times we do this show on Tuesday and Saturday night racing is such old news. I'll go to a race weekend in Pennsylvania. My area auto, by the time the mail gets here, is not till Friday or Saturday. I'll get that area auto and I'll learn 16 things that I didn't know when I was at the show. Their reporters, their writers dig in and find other stories, other angles. So it's really cool. So I would encourage you to, if you're not a subscriber to Area Auto Racing News, do it. It's just really good. And they're just such good people. They're just such good people. So speaking of good people, the folks at Volusia are the good people hosting the next big sprint car race, and they don't have to wait long. It's tomorrow night. World of Outlaws, NOS Energy Sprint Cars. I had heard good car count. Gravel's talking 50.
Yeah, that's...
Man, I'm pumped up about this.
I'm excited for my dirt vision. I'm not going to lie. I got a little fix with the Chili Bowl and...
Yeah,
but I'm ready for some sprint cars.
Yeah, there's just something.
I watched a little bit too, but
I'm telling you, Erin, there's all kinds of good out there, but I'm telling you, give me Johnny Gibson and Dirt Vision.
Exactly.
I'm tomorrow night about 6:30, 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
All will be right with the world.
Yeah. So I apologize to our daughter now.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sprint cars are back.
Sprint cars are back.
Shows are off the TV.
Wednesday through Saturday, 12 grand to win every night. I think it's 20 grand on Saturday night to win. The big Gator is on the line. Some point fund money there. 50 cars. Oh my gosh. We are in for a treat. We are in for a treat. Going to be awesome, that's for sure. If you're down in Florida, Pete Walton is doing his thing, and David actually alluded to this. They're at Henry County Speedway down in Florida for the 360s USCS. King of the 360s, Ronald Laney Memorial. They've moved that over from East Bay.
Yeah, I love that.
Which is cool. Friday night is the prelim night. Saturday, $10,000 to win. So we're back.
Yep.
We're back. We're rolling. We're racing.
Talking food.
Talking food, exactly. With a little sprint car talk thrown in. Absolutely. So
with our new spatula turkey.
Yes, our spatula turkey's coming up. Yes. Fun stuff. Absolutely great. Next week it is Ladies' Day here.
Yipper.
You and Ashley will be co-hosting the shows. Looking forward to. We haven't determined who we're going to talk to. We're probably going to watch a little bit of Volusia before we decide who.
Yeah, there'll be stories by then.
Stories by then. And so next week here on the program is Ladies' Day. Ashley Strummy, our co-host, and Erin will be hosting the show. And the week after that, I'm doing Trenton, but I'm going to do the Icebreaker at Lincoln.
Oh.
I get to do the Icebreaker at Lincoln, the Sunday portion of it.
Nice.
So I have sprint cars in my very near future. And I'm not going to tell you now, I have got a big sprint car year coming up.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man, I'm jacked up about this. We'll have to save that for another time because we are out of time. All right. We do appreciate Kreger also. Kreger is back. You heard him.
Yep.
You heard him there, I think somewhere there, busting my chops back in the early portion. Craig Moore, producer, is back for another year of fun and frivolity. Yes, that's what we call it. Yeah, he doesn't call it necessarily that.
So excited. No, it's good to be back.
It is good. Craigor is the one. It's funny because Craig's been doing this. We've done this show for 50. This is the 15th year, and all but about 2/3 of 1 year, Craig has done this show. And it's funny. We talk to our drivers, and like when they're more excited to meet Craigor than they are us. You know what I mean? It's like because they're the one that communicates. He communicates with them, and always good to have the band back together. That is for sure. So we appreciate David Gravel joining us. She is Erin Evernham. I am Steve Post. More important than all of that, thank you for joining us here this time on Wing Nation.